So welcome to session 7, that is Verilog HDL subject module 3. Okay, in the previous 6 sections, okay, actually module 3 is divided into the two chapters, that is gate level modeling and one more is the data flow modeling. Okay, so as we know, the HDL modelings are, there are four types, means gate level modeling, the same thing gate level we can call as structural modeling also. So after that we call as data flow modeling, behavioral modeling and the switch modeling. The very basic we call as the switch level modeling, means, or we can call as the transistor modeling. Okay, so now out of four modules, switch level, gate level and behavioral and data flow. Okay, so out of the four modules, so those all four modules are developed based on our the applications. Okay, so now if you take the very basic we call as switch level, so switch level is that is using the transistors. Okay, so very basic level. So when we have the input or when we have the design in terms of the transistor circuit, okay, so in that case we can use the switch level modeling. Okay, in our whatever the Verilog HDL syllabus, we don't have switch level, so we have gate level, data flow, behavioral, all three modelings we have. Okay, so in the design or R&D, so all the design, whatever the electronic designs are there or the digital designs, okay, these digital designs are whatever these digital designs we will model in terms of the four types as switch, gate, data flow and behavioral. But very basic, when we when we do the design where the only transistor is required, okay, so in that case we can use the switch level. Okay, so after that, so what we have seen till now, so that is gate level modeling. So gate level modeling is required, means it will be used when the input design, okay, in terms of the logic gates, input design in terms of the logic circuit, that is nothing but which consists of the logic gates. Okay, so if the design is capable of, we are representing in terms of the gates, so then we can directly use the the gate level modeling. Okay, so if you take the complex designs, okay, so once you take the complex designs, it's not possible to make our design or make our input in terms of the logic circuit. Okay, so that we will define with respect to the Boolean functions, means basically we will have whatever design is there, so we can convert into truth table. Means what is a truth table? Basically it is a behavior of the design, so which will show behavior of the design. Okay, so the whatever, for example, if the input is 0 0, what may be the output? Output may be like this. If the input is 1 1, then output may be 1 0 0 1, so like this. So based on the input there is some output on binary patterns. Okay, so that we can describe using the truth table. Okay, so that truth table we can convert into the Boolean functions easily by using the K-maps or Quine-McCluskey, okay, or for reduction. Otherwise, so directly we can write the Boolean equation. So once we have the Boolean equation, for example, for adder we have sum equal to A XOR B and carry equal to A dot B for half adder. Okay, so this we call as Boolean equation. So by using these Boolean equations, so directly we can write the code of Verilog code by using the data flow modeling. Okay, so data flow modeling here basically we will use the operators. Basically we will use the operators. So whatever Boolean functions are there, so that we will implement using the operators. So that we call as the data flow modeling. Okay, so as I said, so as the design is complexity, design of the complexity increases, so you will go for the upper modeling, that is data flow. And basically in practical all the designs will be combination of data flow and the behavioral. Okay, so behavioral we will see in the next module. Okay, so it is basically the combination of data flow, behavioral, and in some extent we call as the gate level or structure. Okay, so this is why the data flow came into existence. Okay, so now in data flow, in data flow, uh, we need to means the objective is in this session understand the continuous assignment statement. Okay, continuous assignment statement means, as I told, the boolean function. So how to assign the outputs, okay, also how to assign the values to the outputs. So that will be done by using the assign statements. And here also we will consider some assignment delays. Okay, so with the delays, how the value will be assigned, so that we are going to see in this session. And here the table of contents will go like this: the continuous assignments. So in that we have two types. One we call as implicit continuous assignment, and one is, first one is so before that actually the normal continuous assignment, then implicit net declaration. So these are the types what we will use in the continuous assignments. Then we will consider some delays: the regular assignment delay and the continuous implicit continuous assignment delay. So basically how we will represent the delays and what is the effect of that. Okay, so this session we will see how to assign the values for the outputs by using the keywords. Okay, so here the continuous assignments. So continuous assignment is the most basic statement in data flow modeling, okay, to drive a value to the net. Okay, so the output in data flow usually it will be the wire, means nets only. Okay, so we know the different data types: nets, registers, wires, all those things. So here whatever the values we are assigning, the left hand side, okay, it will be the net only, means the modeling will be used to drive a value to the net. Okay, the syntax of that, is assign is a keyword, and here drive strength. As I told, the strengths, there are 8 strengths, so which we are seeing in module 1 and 2. Module 2, that is data types, we have 8 different values, strengths, like low, high, strong 0, strong 1, weak, pull up, all those things. So that if we need that, we can specify here. And delay, okay, so like what we have seen in previous sessions, so hash 5 will give the delay here. Then this is list of assignments, so what I want to assign, so that we can declare here. Okay, so the same, the small example. So this is a module is keyword, this is for AND gate. What we are using here, module is a keyword, and underscore DFA is module name, and this is output Y and input A and B. So declaration with port list only. So here assign is a keyword. In data flow modeling we are using, the main important thing is the keyword is assign. Okay, assign. Then after that Y, that is output. Then what we need to assign, that is A and B. A is variable and B is variable, and is a operator here. So this AND is operator for the AND operation, bitwise AND operation. Okay, so all these operators will see next subsequent sessions. So here just we need to see what is the syntax to assign the value. So Y is output here, assign is keyword, and this is what A and B we are assigning to the Y. So this will be the AND gate code. Okay, so in gate level modeling what I have written, what we have written, AND, okay, and instance name, and here Y comma A comma B. So this is what the code, the single line code for the gate level modeling. AND is a keyword, instance name, and port list. Y output first, then A comma B. So the same thing, the same job will be done using the data flow by writing this equation: assign Y equal to A and B. But here in gate level modeling, module definition is not required, as it is gate primitive, but operator is not primitive. So we need to define the module here and inputs outputs. Then we need to use, by using the assign statement, we need to write the code. Okay, so this is assign keyword and how to use that one. Okay, the next one. So while using the assign, some of the characters it has. So those characters are, you can read it here, the left hand side of the assignment. Means, for example, the previously what we have seen, assign Y equal to A and B, means the left hand side of the assignment must always be scalar or vector net. Okay, so what do you mean by scalar? So scalar means single bit. Okay, why is single bit here? So suppose if we declare the vector like 3 down to 0, okay, in that case we call as vector. So the left hand side, okay, assignment must always be scalar or vector. So as I said here, y is equal to a and b. Okay, this y can be scalar or scalar or vector, or concatenation of the scalar and vector. Means, for example, if the output I can write like y1 comma y2 is equal to, okay, here a sign will be there, that is common thing, assign y1 comma y2, and I'm assigning, for example, 2 dash b10, 2 bits. Okay, so 2 bits, that is 1 and 0, I am assigning to y1 and y2. In that case, so y1 will be 1 and y1 will be assigned with 1 and y2 will be assigned with a 0. Okay, so this is what okay, the scalar or concatenation of the scalar or vector nets. So now he talked about the left hand portion. Okay, so continuous assignments are always active, means they are always continuously assigning these values. So whatever it is, now here it is constant. Suppose if it is a and b, so always assigning a and b values, okay, to the y, okay, to the y. Okay, so the next one, the operands on the right hand side can be registers or nets or function calls. Okay, so left hand side we have seen, so whatever now we are writing a and b, this a and b can be vector or scalar, okay, or it can be, the main thing, it can be a register or it can be a net. Okay, so a and b, it can be register or net. Okay, so same thing, register or nets can be scalar or vector. Then delay values can be specified for assignment in terms of time minutes. Okay, so that we are going to see next. The same thing as I told, hash 5, then y, then a and b. Okay, here assign will be there. Okay, so assign will be there, hash 5, y equal to a and b. So delay we can specify, and delay values are used to control the time when net is assigned. Delay values are used to control the time when a net is assigned the evaluated value. Means okay, net will be assigned here continuously, it will be assigning, but the when to update to the output, so that it will be update by using, means after the delay what we have mentioned. Okay, so these are the some of the characteristics of the assignment, continuous assignment. So now we are taking an example. So here assign is a keyword, out I1 and I2. The same thing what we have earlier, y is equal to a and b, instead of y he has taken as out here, and instead of a and b he has taken as I1 and I2. So this is the single line code for AND gate, but the module definition is required here. So similarly, assign here vector address of 16, means there is a variable or there is a net of 16 bit. Okay, there is a net of 16 bit. Okay, so 16 bit net is there. For that one we are assigning address 1 bits, this variable is different, address 2 bits is different, both 16 bit bitwise it is XORing, and it will be assigned to the address 1, address 2, both XOR operation are doing and assigned to the address. Means, for example, the first bit of address 2, first bit of address 1, both are XORing. Okay, that it will be assigning to the first bit of address 1. Okay, it is XOR, it is A2 like A1 and A. Okay, it is like this, both XOR will happen, the result will be stored onto the A of 0, that is address of 0. Okay, so similarly the concatenation as I told, assign, so whatever the 4 bit, A 4 bit, B 4 bit, and this is same. So A 4 bits, B 4 bits, both are added here. Okay, so both will be, that is A and B, both will be added with C in. So C in, it may be 0 or 1, both will be added. Whatever result is there, the first 4 bits, in the sense, you can see here addition 1 1 1 1. Okay, and carry, anyway it is 0, carry will not be generated. The first 4 bits will be assigned to sum. So whatever carry 0 is there, it will be assigned to C out. Okay, so this is the data flow modeling. Okay, by using operators, the plus operator, we are writing the 4 bit addition here. Okay, so this is how to use the assign statements with concatenation output, with vectors usage. This is a scalar, single bit. Okay, so now you will see some more thing. So implicit continuous assignment. So implicit continuous assignment means here the regular assignment is like wire. Okay, regular assignment is, if this is a statement, we need to declare out as wire. Assign out equal to in1 and in2. So declare out as wire. That is a regular one. Implicit in the sense, so wire out equal to in1 and in2 means assign will not be there. Okay, assign, we are not using the wire this sentence plus assign, we are not using. So directly we are writing wire out equal to in1 and in2. So this we got implicit, means assign is implied in this statement. Assign is implied in this statement. So okay, this we call as implicit continuous assignment. Okay, the one more is implicit net declaration. Okay, so implicit net declaration is here, so wire I1 and I2. So I1 I2 we have declared as wire, but not out as in the normal. Out we have not declared as wire, so that we call as implicit declaration. So if I write directly assign out equal to in and 2, that is a valid. So out is implied that it is declared. Okay, so that we call as implicit declaration. So without assign, directly we are using wire out, that we call as implicit continuous assignment. Okay, but in most of the cases we are using the normal assignment only. Okay, the next one, delays. So delays, so whatever we have seen in the previous class, so previous sessions, okay, the same delays. So here how to assign the delays. Okay, how to assign, there are 3 types: regular assignment delay, implicit continuous, net declaration. So what you have seen previously. Okay, here the delay before assign and output variable, we need to mention the delay. So this is normal regular assignment delay. Okay, after the assign keyword we are mentioning delay, then out equal to in1 and in2. So what it will do is, continuously it will be performing and operation between in1 and in2. So after the evaluation, it will wait for 10 nanosecond and it will assign to the output. Okay, it will assign to the output. So after 10 means within that 10, if any changes, again that is subsequently assigning, but assignment will be after the 10 nanosecond. Okay, similarly, so the next one. Okay, so implicit continuous assignment is the same thing. Yeah, here it is implicit. So implicit, that is wire. So we are not using assign here. So wire 10 out. The same thing what you have seen in implicit continuous thing. Only thing, delay is added here between the keyword and the output variable. Here also same as. So this will be same as assign 10 out equal to in and into. Okay, so assign is implicit here. Okay, so net declaration. So net declaration, as I said earlier. Okay, so here, so this is the normal thing. Okay, here assign #10 out. So here wire out is there. Okay, so sorry, one second. So this is a normal. So wire out and #10 out. This is the normal. But here implicit net declaration is, the delay is given in the declaration itself, not in the statement. Okay, so delay we have assigned in the declaration, not in the assignment. So this will perform the same as what the normal we will write wire out assign 10 out. Okay, this we call as the net declaration array. Okay, so but in practically we will write like this only. Okay, but we need to know there are different types of mentioning the delays here. Okay, so okay, these are the different types of delays and how we need to mention. So here one example we are saying. So here, okay, input. Let us see. So input they are not. Okay, you will see here. So this is a delay. What for? What we have seen for. This is hash 10 assign hash 10 out in 1 and in 2. Okay. So how it will affect on the output? So now here add 0 0. If the inputs are 0 here. The inputs already they have given through the waveforms. Here only we need to see the inputs and we need to analyze. So here inputs are 0 0. Add 0 time. Okay. So as inputs are 0 0 and here as I said earlier in the previous delay examples and we have analyzed also delay is 10. So up to that out will be unknown. So at the 10 inputs are 0 0. So output is 0 only. Output also 0. Okay, the next one you can see here when the signal in 1 and in 2 goes high at 20. Okay, at the 20 the signal are going high here, both are becoming 1 1, but at same instant output will not show as high, but as delay we have mentioned 10, at the 30 the output will become 1. Okay, at the 30 output will become 1. So until no change in the input, the output also remains same. But at the 60, one of the input is changed to 0. But as AND gate, one of the input is 0, output is 0. But that will affect after the 10 nanosecond. Okay, here the output is 0. Okay, this is what the how the delay will affect on the output. There is a main thing. One more what we need to see here. There is a change in the one of the input. Okay, there is a change in one of the input as like this. The change delay is only 5. Change delay is only 5, but it is not affecting on the output. So why it will not affect on the output is because at this time at 80 input is changed to high. Okay, but when it will assign, it need to assign at the 90. Whatever one change is there, okay, it is changing, that will come on the output. Suppose if it is like this, instead of not only spike, okay, if it is like this, okay, if it is like this, then at the 90 output will also come like this. But here what happened, okay, here within 5 minutes, within 5 time units again the value is changed. Okay, at that time, because again 90 at 80 change, output will deliver at the 90, but within that again it is changed, it is 0, means as it is continuously updating the output value. So at 85 again the value is 0, evaluated value is 0. Okay, so whatever in 1 and in 2 evaluated value is 0, but it will update after 10 nanosecond. So as it is the value is changed within the 10 nanosecond. So 10 nanosecond is a delay. So within 10 nanosecond again the value is changed. So that will be updated within 10. Because of that it is not affecting on the output. Means at 95 again the 0. So because of that we are not seeing any changes here. Okay. So what we need to remember here, if the change in the input, okay, so the whatever change in the input, that duration is, if it is less than whatever gate delay, that is 10, so that will not be affected on the output. Okay, so that we need to keep in mind. Why? Because it will be updated within the 10 millisecond, 10 nanosecond again. Because of that it will be 0 only. Okay, so like this the delay will affect on the whatever the AND of means on the assignment. Okay, so this is effect on the assignment. So before the delay whatever duration time, the input again it is changed, so that will not be effect on output here. Okay, so after seeing all those the continuous assignments, how we have declared Okay, at last the summary. So we have seen the continuous assignment, which is a main construct used in the data flow. So we are calling the data flow modeling, that is nothing but we are using the assign statement. Okay, by means by using this assign statement we will implement the Boolean equations, and delay values control the time when between the control the time between the change in right hand side of the variable when new value is assigned to the left hand side. Okay, the same thing here. So whatever the delay changes, okay, so that will affect on the output with respect to the delay. If there is no delay, so immediately it will change. Okay, if no delay means if inputs are changing, output also change immediately. Okay, but practically it will have some delays. So this is what the session about the continuous assignments in the data flow modeling. So this is the reference book what we have referred, Samir Panitkar, Verilog HDL Guide to Digital Design and Synthesis, and this is the LMS team which helps us to preparing the materials and PPT and by giving the guidelines. Thank you.